Chetan, the question that we have today is how can we be happy in spite of having problems and difficulties in life? It's an interesting one because problems and difficulties are a part and parcel and depends also on the perception that we have towards problems and difficulties as to what we call in life as. So, would want to hear your views on that.
So really, what would we say is a problem? Example of a problem. Let's say what is a problem?
So let's say me not having a job, or let's say not having a fulfilling relationship, or let's say not getting what I deserve, these kind of things.
Right. So we will always view problems as something that I desire and I don't yet have in my life, and that would be construed as problem for most people, right? Now, we need to look at this. Where do we learn to get problems in life? If you notice carefully that right from our childhood, we're almost educated to have problems. A 4 or a 5-year-old child will be given a problem to solve, which is how to behave or how to sit or how to eat properly, how not to make a mess or something. That's a problem to solve. You grow up a little more, in school you'll be given numerous problems to solve. You have different things to learn. You grow up a little more, you go to college, you have different sorts of problems because you're starting thinking about your career and stuff. And you grow up a little more, then life actually starts in terms of your jobs and stuff, and now you have a whole ladder to climb, and that's a whole set of problems. In between, you add relationships to your life, and there are expectations out there, so you have even more problems getting added on. So life continues, and there are these problems, and we are almost conditioned to have problems in life. Even in your job front, it's a popular saying that unless you have a problem, you don't really have a job, right? So the whole life is about solving problems, and then the question comes, how can I be happy in spite of having problems and difficulties in life? I would like to post the counter question to the person asking this question. Is there a problem at all? Or is there a gap between what you want and you currently don't have, and you calling that a problem, which is easily solvable by not having an expectation? But that's not how we are taught, because you want a problem, you want to live in a problem, and you want to feel special after having a problem. Understand this, that's not the real problem to solve. Right? I might have a gap between having this much money and wanting that much money, right? And I might view that this is the problem that I have, but that's not the problem. The problem is the gap, right? And that gap is going to be solved by solving a real problem out there. Now, what is the real problem has nothing to do with you. There are problems out there in the world to be solved, and unless you're solving them, there is no sense of relevance, so there's nothing, no real problem being solved. There's just a greed being fulfilled. How can you be happy in spite of having problems and difficulties in life? It's a very simple switch. It's a simple realization that what you are considering as a problem in actuality is not even a problem. It's a mental makeup. The day you realize that, all that will be left is 0 problems and 100 happiness.
That's so true what you said, that sometimes how myopic we get when we are thinking about what's just surrounding us, and while there is so much to do outside. And what you talked about problems, it's so true. The way you said that, since beginning we have been exposed to, and this is a way that we get exposed to, that, if a problem is there, you have to solve it. It's like not staying with the problem. I'm even talking of real problems tomorrow. We are always in a rush to reach a solution. It's a very uncomfortable place to stay with a problem, and therefore probably the discomfort of having a problem and being happy, because having a problem is also an opportunity to break away and to break through it. So I think what you said,
the mind has almost started treating it like, as long as there is a problem, there can't be happiness. Is problem not a reality? If it's a reality, then it's as much a reality like happiness would be. You got to learn not that when the problem will get over, I will be happy. No, happiness is just like, and you've made happiness to be a problem to solve as well. You see how the mind works, right? That it's so conditioned to look and solve problems that how to be happy is a problem to solve rather than a state to experience. And I think if you can realize it and recognize it deep inside you, that mind is conditioned to come up with one problem after another because we've cultivated and habituated it like that. The day you realize those problems are over, because those are not the real problems. Those are made up problems as a result of having these desires and destinations in life, which after you reach, you'll see the next one anyways. So that's the way the mind is trained. It'll show you one problem after the other because that's the way we are brought up. Recognize this, realize this, and stop that identification of a problem. What's left is happiness.
And I hope this lens of problem identification and this lens of looking at problems helps the gentleman who asked this question.